Hi, this is Mike with the Gizzard Stone, and I'm going to do a haul video today. I heard about haul videos on NPR last week, and so that pretty much makes me an expert. So what I'm gonna do, I bought a bunch of books last week, and see, I've got a bunch of them here. They're just out of camera, you can't see them all. But I'm gonna go through and show you what I got, try and remember how much I paid for them, kind of all the things that the ladies on YouTube do when they're talking about the makeup they bought at Walmart. So first off, this is a book that I bought a while ago. It's Our Universe by Roy A. Gallant. It's got a lot of it's published in, let's see, 70s or something. Anyway, it's got a bunch of really great infographics about space and the planets. Here's the one for Venus. It's a bunch of great. Anyway, I loved this book as a kid. I'd sit there and just peruse it and read it and look at the planets and stuff to the point where the binding broke and all the little leaflets fell out and was basically useless. So recently, this is one of the cool books I found on Amazon this week, also by National Geographic, 13 Planets. It's much shorter, it's a smaller book in size, and also it's a lot thinner. But it's got, you know, descriptions and sort of a little 1 or 2 page sort of picture and narrative on each of the planets. But what's cool about it is it's got all of the dwarf planets. You know, from the old book we've got 9 planets, and Pluto's one of them. In the new book you've got 13 planets, including the 5 dwarf planets, which are, you might be interested to know. You've got, where's the page that has them all on there? You've got Ceres, which is a asteroid belt object, and then you've got Pluto out at the end, Haumea, Makemake, and Eris. All Kuiper belt objects. They're little bitty tiny planets. Anyway, this one has the same cool infographics and illustrations, little bits on each of the planets. I've been reading it to my son, he loves it. I really like it too. It's very interesting. The graphics are great. It's just not quite as in-depth as the old Universe book, which you should still get. It's still available. It's in print. Obviously, 9 planets, 13 planets. This one's a little bit out of date, but both worth getting. This is from National Geographic Kids. It was like 12 bucks or something, no big deal. Continuing along on the space tip, this is Vistas of Many Worlds. This is a book published by the Ashland Astronomy Studio in Oregon. This one is mostly, it's basically computer-generated images of the sky, but this particular one is what the sky looked like 4.8 million years ago. So the stars are in different places. Great images, you know, enough reading material here for 5-10 minutes. Kind of like a short story. We can read a couple pages before bed. I really like it. Here's a picture of Stonehenge. One of my favorite things in this is sort of an overview of the motion of stars around the galaxy. So it shows the Big Dipper, what it looked like 150,000 years ago, and what it'll look like 150,000 years from now. But then this is a diagram that shows all of the stars and how they move around the galactic center, and so it sort of explains why the constellation looks the way it does and why that changes over time, which is really fascinating. So that's that. What else I got? This is a comic book. This is not for kids particularly, but this is a comic book by Darryl Cunningham. And it's a bunch of sort of science denial rebuttals in comic book form. So it's got oh look, there's something here about chiropractics. The first one is, the first section is about the moon landing and sort of refuting all of the arguments that the moon landing was faked. So that's pretty interesting. It's also got chapters about homeopathy, MMR vaccinations, hydrofracking. Haven't read any of this yet. Climate change, that'll be interesting. and science denial in general. So interesting little book. I don't know, this was, you know, maybe 5, 10, 15 bucks. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, it's worth a read. Definitely not a kid's book. So we're getting on summertime, camping season. My son's been bugging me about camping, and we didn't have any real good books about camping, so I bought this one. Just no recommendation. It was just on Amazon. It was it's listed at $17, but I don't think I paid that much. It's by Helen Foster James, illustrated by Lita Judge. It's kind of like watercolory images. Anyway, it's just this ABCs of camping. So it starts with A, goes to Z. And oddly enough, the S is not for s'mores. When you get to the S section, it's for something else. But so it's got, you know, each page has a little, you know, 4-line poem about the letter, and then some longer narrative on the side that I haven't read those, but it's like sort of a background about camping and water. It's like, this is like noise and water pollution and light pollution, yada, yada, yada. Haven't read that yet. It's certainly a lot more than you can sit and read all of that in one sitting. It's a lot of text. There's probably like 600 words on each of those sections. Anyway, wasn't my favorite. Hasn't been my favorite kids book so far, but my son liked it and he wanted to read it again today at nap time, so there you go. This book, You Are Not So Smart. I talked about this on the blog yesterday. This is a book about, on the front it says, why have too many friends on Facebook, why your memory is mostly fiction, and 46 other ways you're deluding yourself. So it's, you know, we commit these logical fallacies and sort of mistakes of thinking and intuition constantly. And this is sort of a book that illustrates those chapter by chapter, so that each chapter starts out with this is the title, and then the misconception. This is the bystander effect. When someone is hurt, people rush to their aid. The truth, the more people who witness a person in distress, the less likely it is that any one person will help. And then it goes through a, you know, 3 or 4 page explanation of that. So it's really, each explanation is really short, gives references to other scientists and psychologists and people who have done legit studies on this stuff. So you don't have to read a whole impenetrable book on any one of these things. And there are, let's see how many chapters there are. There's 48 chapters, 48 fallacies and logical phenomenon that are really quite interesting. So I definitely recommend this book. The price on the side, on the back, is $22.50 for the hardcover. The paperback's probably half that. All right, so saving the best for last. This is a tiny little pamphlet book from some blog called what's the name of that blog? HowToBeADad.com. Yeah, by a couple guys named Andy, Harold, and Charlie Capen. Anyway, these guys are pretty funny. They're pretty popular with the mom blog, the mom crowd, because they're, you know, they're pretty good looking. Anyway, this book is about, it's kind of a humorous guide to baby sleep positions. So it goes through, they did an infographic on this a while ago. So it goes and it gives the position a funny little picture here, and then the summary, the side effects, the tips, and then the level of difficulty. And then, you know, you can use this as a self-help guide, and you can sort of track your progress through your ability to master these sleep positions. There are, I don't know, there's 63 pages in this book. It's definitely something you just flip through in a few minutes. I had this sitting on the counter the day my wife comes home. She's like, "What is this stupid book you got?" And flipped through it and was immediately laughing and reading the whole thing and showing me stuff that I hadn't read yet. And so it's definitely pretty funny. It costs $9.95. I don't think I paid that much for it. But supposedly if you buy this book and tweet about it, Charlie Capen himself will retweet you, which is some sort of big deal, I guess. Anyway, that's all I got. Check out these books. I'll put a link to them if you want to purchase them, if you feel like purchasing them on the website. Otherwise, hope you're having a good weekend, and take it easy.